Welcome to another edition of the Mav Caw Show. I'm Mav.
I'm Caw. Howdy, howdy.
How was your day, Caw?
It was, yeah. I worked a lot. I worked really hard. I scrubbed a lot of things today.
Awesome.
I had people at my job would start a thing and not finish it, and then I had to finish it, and plus another person did that, and I had to finish that, and plus on top of doing my own stuff.
Right.
So yeah, it was
So
a day.
don't you hate that? Like,
I mean, it gave me something to do. So I really like my job. I do. My job's pretty cool, man. I'm the maintenance guy, so man, I get to just clean all day. So and I like cleaning.
So after our podcast last night about the
children's
generation,
yes.
the most disrespectful generation of all time, I got a lot of feedback today. A lot.
Okay.
And so Caw's mama
My mama
sent some stuff in, and Caw doesn't know about it yet.
Yeah, this is like a blind reaction. So
we're gonna get Caw's reaction.
I have no clue what she said.
As we
and I just so y'all know, I was a little hellion. I was a hellion. I didn't listen for shit. I did my own thing, and I was like, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway.
You know what, though?
I remember my parents being like, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump to it? I was like, yeah. Yeah. I would see if they're okay first.
Right. Did you guys survive? Okay, I'm next.
There we go. Bonsai.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That's what made it fun.
I mean, we grew up in the 80s, man. We were indestructible, you know? So if you guys only knew how indestructible I am, I should have been dead 5 times over or more.
This is what Miss Carol had to say. And
yeah, all right, let's hear it.
Do you want to hear the whole?
Hold on, I'm going to do from the Billy Madison. Well, let's hear what Mama has to say on the subject. Mama says alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Do you want to hear the whole conversation or just the story?
Just read
okay.
That. Yeah.
Kids' stories, laughing my ass off. I've got a million of them. I raised mine with morals, respects, and etc.
That's right.
I think my offspring have turned out pretty good. The one story that really comes to mind is my oldest child. He must have been around 21. He still lived at home. He had done something that I thought was disrespectful to the house rules. I made him take his belt off and bend over the picnic table, and I whipped his butt with his own belt.
That was George.
It brought a tear to his eyes, not because I hurt him, but because I hurt his feelings. He never disrespected my wishes after that. Then,
with his own belt.
Then there's Caw.
That's like that show Mod. And then there's Caw.
He was always cleaning and organizing.
Yeah. That's weird. I just got done saying about how I love cleaning at work and everything. That's, yeah.
But everyone knows he's my rebellious child.
Oh, yeah.
But no matter where he was, even when he was on the run, he always calls me for Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh. I always let my mom know where I was. I was on, so y'all might not know, but back in the day, I ran into some problems with the law, and I got sentenced to work release, and I escaped work release, and I traveled on foot most of the way from Indiana to Florida and then up to New Jersey and every state in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I called my mom in every state I was at. I was like, oh, this is where I'm at and blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm doing, you know. And plus, back in the day, I had a big old tattoo on my face. Like the crow from the movie, you know. Like, that was my idol because, you know, caw, caw. I love crows, you know. But, yeah.
My daughter is so much like me. What can I say? She's a good mother and one of the most awesome people I know. My youngest is the kindest, sweetest young man that just wants to be everybody's friend.
Yeah.
So, but I can't see you being rebellious.
Dude, I was totally I thought you were about to read some other stuff that was...
It goes...
I thought it was going to be bad, dude.
Why would your mom send me bad stories?
Well, I mean, not bad, but like...
You and I both know.
Like embarrassing to talk about or something,
yeah.
You know
well,
what I mean? Like,
I mean...
one time at banking.
Right.
If you guys... I'm sure you heard the voice. There's someone in the room with us, and... She's laughing and
that's
listening.
Our audience viewer.
That's
Wait, hold on. Where's
that's our one audience member we have.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look for it.
You know.
Whoa, where's it at, man?
Which one?
Wait a minute. There it is. It's like one or two people clapping.
All right. Man. So yeah. No, I wasn't gonna. I mean, I'm sure your mom knows more stories than I do, but I can think of some really embarrassing dumb shit you and I have done together. So
okay, so my mom don't know about that stuff. I'm still respectful to my mom.
I love your mom.
Oh man, if she only knew half the. And you know what? She probably does. Yeah. Because that's one thing I could say about my mama, dude, is it does not matter what I was doing or how much. She always told me this, man. She's like, you know what? When you think I'm not watching you, it's when I'm watching you the most.
And somehow they always know.
Yup.
Always. My mom always knew when I was doing something stupid.
She would say that, and my dad would be like, I don't know if you know, boy, but you make patterns for yourself. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I know what you're going to do next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's weird because today's Wednesday. But like, yeah, he always knew.
And that's what I always tell the kids.
I would run away from home and I would go to a different spot each time. And they always knew exactly where to find me, man. I'm like, how do they know this? I never kept a diary or nothing. I never told anybody or anything.
I tell the kids and the girls the same thing. I tell the kids, the moms, the same thing. Everybody follows a pattern. All you need to do is recognize the pattern, and guess what? You already know what's going to happen.
Yep.
And that's the truth. You know.
Nowadays, kids look at you like, you don't know what we're going to do, and we're just looking around like.
Right. Okay. Sure we do. Yeah. We just, you know.
She can't hear the cricket noises. Oh, did you hear it?
Yeah. I do want to clarify something. I do want to clarify something right now. Yesterday, when we were telling the story of what happened with Caw trying to make amends with the donuts, the daughter did come in here today a little while ago, and she apologized.
Yes, she did. So that was commendable.
That was excellent because I've never seen her do it.
I was ready. I was ready to treat her like, hey, I don't know who you are.
She told me she thought about it all day.
Yeah,
so I've never seen her apologize.
Wow, really?
Not one time.
Apologize, it would be half-assed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen it.
Wow. Hey, I must have struck a chord, man.
Something.
You know what it was? Because I told her straight up. I was like, you know what? I won't even buy you a $2 inhaler if you're dying of not breathing, and I got $30 on me. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know,
I've never seen that kid apologize.
I mean, of course, I really would. Okay, so I'm not that kind of person. I really would get the inhaler. Okay, don't get your panties in a bunch there. But yeah, I mean, to say that to somebody,
right?
It makes them feel like, wow, man. I must have done something really bad or said something really wrong. You know,
right. And that's, you know, so when the daughter came in here just a few minutes ago, and she did look him in the eye and she apologized, which I thought was really cool of her, commendable.
Yeah, that was cool, definitely.
So I wanted her to.
I'm looking at that.
Well, hurry up! You're making static.
No, I'm not. That's just there. It's just sitting on my leg. It ain't doing nothing.
So I wanted everybody to know that, you know, I understand kids are kids. I do. I got that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Their sense of entitlement. This is what I'm going to do just because I can. You know, and I think it's. I think a lot of parents are going to relate to what I'm fixing to say. When she was 17, she went to sleep the night before her birthday. She woke up, it was her birthday, her 18th birthday, and her first words were, "I'm an adult now." So, no,
No, you're not.
no, that's
Wrong answer.
yeah, that is not how that works. Yeah, not at all. You don't magically change overnight. It's the way it is.
Yep.
You know, I tried to be nice about it, and I told her, Pumpkin, no.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm 45 years old and I'm not an adult yet. You
Right?
know, like I really ain't. When growing up is when you. How do I say this? It's like you're never gonna be on top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You always got somebody to answer to.
Yes.
You'll always have a boss.
Yes.
And if you don't have a job, you'll always have a government telling you what to do.
Right.
So it's like your dreams are just. Not today, man. Not in my house.
Fixing to take the sound box away.
No, you're
from
not.
Caw.
I like this thing. This thing is cool. And you know what? We've had it for a long time and we never use it. It's about time we should. You know what I'm saying? At least for like these kind of podcasts. I wouldn't use that on like our serious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
so-
man. I mean, but for real, you're always going to answer to somebody.
Yeah, you're always gonna have bosses.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not allowed to do what you want when you become an adult.
No. That's when you actually lose more freedoms.
You really do.
The moment you have to grow up, it's over.
Yep. Not only do you have all the chores you used to have as a kid, but now you get to pay for them all too.
That's right.
You don't get paid for them. You pay to do them.
And I wanted to point that out to her. Like I looked at both moms last night, and I asked one. Her dad lives in Arkansas. I said, "Babe, do you want to go see your dad in Arkansas?" I said, "Let's leave tomorrow." And she said, "Well, I can't. I have a job." And I looked at the daughter and I said, "See?
There you go."
I looked at the other mom and I said, "Hey, you want to go do this, this, and that?" And she's like, "I can't." And I said, "But we're adults." They're under the impression that as an adult,
You get to just call off of work whenever you want.
you can drop everything you're doing and leave and go do whatever you choose.
It don't work like that. The world revolves around money. And
That's
if
it.
you're not at your job making money, guess what you're not going to be able to do? You're not going to be able to pay your bills.
Right.
And if you're not paying your bills, guess what happens next? You get kicked out of your house because you don't have money to pay your bills.
Right.
So, let me weigh this out. Go visit somebody that I haven't seen in a long time or go to work. But you know what you can do in between? You can message that person.
Right.
When you're sitting at home and you can video chat them and you can see them on your phones now because we got that technology.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that. You know what I mean? It's like
just
it's not as good, but it's something. It's a memory you're making. It's a memory you're making, and it's something. You know.
It really amazes me that they truly believe that. That's what amazes me the most.
Yeah.
You guys, I can't wait till I grow up and move out. You know what? That was the stupidest damn words ever come out of my mouth.
Mine too. Guys, look at us now, man. Just look at us. It's like, hey.
Yep. I used to tell my parents.
Now
that
we're
all
sitting
the
here
time.
wishing we were younger.
Right.
We said that earlier, and then after I said that, he was like, "Yeah, well, I wish I had the knowledge I got now."
Right.
You know, if we did be able to go back, there ain't no
Yeah.
fountain of youth, man. There ain't none of that. You're as young as you feel, and whatever, and blah blah blah. But man, at the end of the day,
we're all in the same boat.
here. This is what you're doing. This is life.
We're all in the same
You got to deal
boat.
with it. If you don't want to deal with it, I don't know what to tell you.
That's it.
You know, make a GoFundMe page or find you a sugar mama, sugar daddy, something.
I mean,
You know,
it's all about the money.
Yep.
You know, and they don't. I mean, okay, they see, and I do believe this. Our two kids see me and the moms as what my oldest daughter used to call the magic money machine, the ATM. And I said, she said, "You know, Dad, the magic money machine, the machine that always gives you money." And I said, "No, child, that is not how that machine works."
No, it's just, it gives you money that you have on your credit.
Yeah.
Right?
So
What does ATM stand for anyway? At the moment? This is the
automatic-
money you can get at the moment.
yeah, pretty
You know?
much. Yeah. So
I know.
and that's how they see us. They just see us as this endless money supply. But
yeah, it don't work like that, man.
it's not. Our money is not endless. It doesn't have sex and make babies. I wish it did, but it don't.
The money that we do have, I can't speak for everybody out there, but the money I have, it hurt my body to get it because I bust my hump at work, man. I
Right.
really do. I'm in it 24/7. I'm in pain 24/7, man. Like, but I'm just, I'm a glutton for pain, I guess, dude. Like, I
Right.
just live in freaking pain. I got all kinds of crap going on. These guys are always like, go to a doctor, and I'm like, no. I will,
And like I tell him,
I
they'll
will
be in
figure
pain.
out what's wrong with me, and I'll fix it myself. I'm not gonna pay this doctor tens of thousands of dollars that I don't got to do something. Like, you found out how to do it, so why can't I? If I got an ailment, I'm gonna Google it and I'm gonna find out what I need to cure it and whatever.
Well, good luck with that, because Google's not going to help you.
Yeah, it actually did a couple times.
It actually doesn't.
Okay, well, it did a couple times, is what I'm saying. Like when I broke my foot, you know what I found out? What they're gonna do if you break your foot and you go to the hospital, or a rib, when you go to the hospital, this is what they'll do. They'll wrap it in an ace bandage to make you feel all comfortable inside, and then they'll give you this pill that says this will take away the pain. Okay, so what I did is I dealt with the pain because I got a high pain tolerance, and I wrapped my foot myself. I saved a whole bunch of money on Geico by switching.
Right.
It's
Yeah, just,
if a doctor could do it, I could do it, man. That's just all there is to it.
You do realize that you can't, right?
I can. There is one thing I do need to go to a doctor for. I got a piece of wood stuck in my stomach from when I was working. I got this sliver. And it's like now getting
It looks
infected.
bad, dude.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to lie.
It's getting infected and everything. And that's something I need to go to a doctor for. But like certain other things, dude, like I could do it myself because I know exactly what they're going to do.
It just looks bad.
When I got thrown off a bridge, dude, I never went to the hospital. I had a broken foot. I walked 2 hours to get to my house after I got thrown off.
I remember that, yeah.
I broke a few ribs. My body got jacked up, man, but I just went home and I took care of it myself.
Oh, could you imagine that happening to one of the today's children?
Oh God, dude.
Oh my God.
They would scream bloody murder, and you'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, they would need years of therapy and medical
I
help.
went home, I laid in bed for a few days, and I was just like, everybody leave me alone. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are getting some rough static there.
So, I mean, it's just one of those things, really.
Yeah. It is what it is, though.
Yeah, I understand. But, I mean, that's how these kids are today.
Yeah.
I mean, we were, honestly and truly, we were a tough generation. It's the way it was. We could hit. I remember climbing trees and falling 20 feet to the ground, dude.
Oh, that's another story, dude. I still got a bump on my head from when I was a little child, man. I got a knot on my head from climbing to the top of a tree.
Right.
And fell all the way down.
Yep. And it's just,
man.
I mean,
I remember the day clearly. Whenever I landed on the ground, it knocked the wind out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I stood
Me
up,
too.
and I remember running home to my mom. And this is when I lived in those little Quonset hut thingies.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was running home to my mom, and I remember everything being in slow motion. So I was running like...
like the Bionic Man.
Yeah, and I remember my mom used to watch General Hospital all the time. And that was in my head. I was like, I need a hospital. Like, I knew I was hurt. You know what I mean? So,
right.
like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to get to my mom, and I'm going to go to General Hospital. You know? And, yeah, man, it was crazy.
I remember playing football, and...
I had a stick on the side of my nose that ran in through the side there, man.
I remember playing football, getting hurt.
Dude, we used to play football in the streets, tackle football in the street.
Yep.
Like, man, you don't get no hardcore than that, man.
Yeah. And believe me, all of us got road rash.
Dude, we would go home bloody and messed
Messed up.
Our parents would be like, walk it off, rub some dirt on it.
And as long as you weren't in your school clothes, you were fine.
Yeah, you better have them play clothes on.
Yes, you better.
Yep. Oh, man.
Yeah. But I mean, that was how we grew up.
Yeah, sure was.
You know?
Man.
Now they grow up.
Man, we used to build ramps and...
jump our bikes.
Man, I'm not talking about no little level. We ramped it.
Yeah.
We were airborne, man.
Yeah. I once rode my bike up my buddy's trailer. That was.
Did you?
Oh my god, dude! I about killed myself that day. I was like, I hit the only tree for like 100 miles. I hit this bitch, and I was
would, bro.
I was already upside down because when I hit the ground coming off the trailer, there was like a concrete median there. I didn't think I was
Right.
going to fly that far, but I
dude,
did.
yeah.
The front tire hit the concrete median. I flip, head goes toward the ground, and my body just smacked the tree, and I slid down the tree.
Man.
And
That's some George of the Jungle type.
yeah,
of
it
stuff.
was bad, dude. Ooh. And my buddy comes running, and he, and I stood up. I was fine. I just had some scrapes and bumps or whatever, But yeah, I really messed myself up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we did that dumb shit, and there is no record of it anywhere.
Do you remember that old store Tip Top?
Yes.
Okay, so it got burnt down.
Right.
all
I remember that.
So the roof, the way it was caved in, me and my buddies went up there and was looking at it, and we're looking at each other. We got our bikes down there.
Oh shit.
And we're like, man, this is like the perfect ramp, dude.
Yeah.
So check it out. One side of the store, it sloped down like a deep slope, and then it sloped back up. Well, the middle of the store was missing, so you got this big long jump, and then you had this little tiny landing, which was just enough room for a kid and his bike to land on. Dave, why don't you go first? I was like, all right, bet.
Right. Like, sure.
So I'm at the very end. I get like 3 good pedals to go fast, and I hit that ramp and I made it. I cleared that big long jump, and I landed. I thought I was gonna smack into the wall, but like I turned my body sideways, and I landed perfectly and didn't hit the wall, dude. So I was like, oh my god. And so Timmy and Tommy, they're brothers, so they was like, all right, I'm next. And then Tommy, he wiped out, and then Timmy, he went, and he just made it, but like he still like crashed into the wall a little bit, and so like he like buckled forward and he smacked his face into the wall. He was, and you know what? He was like, man, let's do that again. I was like, and I knew from the first jump, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I will not land that again. So I was like, no, I'm good. But yeah, dude, I remember when Tip Top burned down, and
that's what I'm saying. These kids don't have memories like that.
No, man, they don't.
They don't go outside. They don't have that imagination to do stuff. They don't.
Yeah.
And
we would find sticks.
Yeah.
And be like, this looks like a gun, man.
Yep. You'd play in the woods.
You'd find that one cool stick. It looks like like it has like it's a stick going this way, and it has one coming down here and one coming down here, and it's so like you got yourself a Tommy gun.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
You play in the woods.
No, man, you're dead, man. I shot you, dude.
I remember we had woods behind my house.
Yeah.
Like 10 feet. You just jumped this little ditch, and we had woods back there.
Yep.
And
I was always in the woods.
Yes, I love the woods, dude. I remember running up trees.
Yep, me too.
I remember playing tag in the woods. We had such a great time growing up. And we have so many memories.
I remember watching an old TV show that was before our time, Tarzan.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he had the Tarzan yell, and everything. And he was like so cool to me. And so I tried to do like he did. And I would try to like
swing
jump
on the vines?
from tree to tree. Not on vines, but branches. Like we didn't have vines, but we had branches.
No.
And man, I did it a few times, but man, I wiped out a few times.
See, now we had the vines in our woods, the real thick ones that would come down out of the trees.
Yeah,
And
we had a couple of those.
I remember my buddy Jamie and I tried to grab the vines, and we were trying to swing through the vines.
Yeah.
And I grabbed this one, and it, of course, came out of the tree. It was and down I went. But it was fun. And I mean,
yeah, it was, man. Even when you failed, it was still
fun.
And that gave us the angst to want to try again and do it better, try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Always learning.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Now it's like learning is a disease or something, and they just don't want to do
it. Yeah, I mean, well,
I don't understand, like.
Yeah, something happened to where they're just like, I don't want to try something new. I'm afraid. Right. I'm afraid I'll fail at it. People will laugh at me. I'll get in trouble. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what gave us the oomph to want to do it.
Yep.
Hey, people are going to laugh at you. Even if you don't try. If you don't try, they're going to laugh at you for being a chicken.
And a loser.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do try and you fail, they're going to laugh at you
and
for
that's
failing.
another thing. When we were like,
But that's when we were like, all right, smart Alec, you do it.
I played football. Okay. It's called the game. There was a winner and a loser.
Yeah,
there was no participation trophy.
Yeah. No child left behind. They need to get rid of that for real.
Okay.
There's one kid that I commend him. They tried giving him a trophy, and he was like, I don't want that. I failed.
Right.
I was like, rock on, little dude.
Yeah.
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 He's like, I'll get the first place next year.
Look, I know that we all want our children to be winners. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Sadly, the real world does not work that way.
Anymore.
There is winners and there is losers.
Yep.
And by losers, I don't mean you're a loser in life.
Yeah,
I mean
you just
lost the
that
game.
You lost that one time.
And you learn how to,
Better
if you want to
yourself,
win,
right.
Be better. Keep
Yep.
learning, keep trying, keep doing, and you'll get better and better and better. And then you'll win. As
you know,
opposed
that's
to-
a good example is I'm a chess player.
Yeah.
Okay. The only way I became good was getting my butt kicked at the game every single time
Right.
for years until I started getting to know strategies and things like that.
Right.
And then now I can beat somebody in 4 moves. I could beat you in 4 moves if you're not a,
Right.
if you're not a professional, because, the professionals know that move. So, but yeah, so like, you just got to keep on at it, man. You just
That's
do
it.
it over and over
Keep on
until you
keeping
get
on.
good. Yep, exactly. She said, keep on keeping on. And that's what you do.
That's it right there. We're not all winners in this world. We're just not.
No,
But-
we're not. But
But you can be a good person.
find your niche, find something you're good at,
Right.
and stick with that and be the best at it.
Yeah.
Let
always.
it, but make sure it's something you like doing, something you love. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, don't try to do something because somebody else thinks you'll be cool if you do it. Do it because you like doing it. You know what I mean? Like, did I say that right? I said
Yeah,
that right?
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's not all about impressing somebody.
No.
It's about doing what you like that makes you feel good.
right. And you just work at it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, that's about it for this podcast.
Yeah, man.
You
So
know,
I thought it was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I love when we do these kind of podcasts because a lot of nostalgia happens.
yeah.
And we'd start going off about when we were kids. We did this, we did that.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
toys we
absolutely.
played with, the video games we played, the people we hung out with, the crazy crap we did.
Yeah.
The abuse we put our parents through. Sorry,
Right.
Mom. Sorry, Dad. But, yeah, man. I mean, we are who we are now because of it. So,
That's it. And
But-
we learned
mm-hmm.
that, whether you were in school learning, but you learned just as much outside.
I think I learned more outside of school than I did in school.
Right.
I really did. I had an attention problem. I can't pay attention when I'm like reading and stuff. My mind wanders.
Right.
But my mind wanders about pretty cool stuff, and I want to learn about that stuff. So I find out about that stuff. And, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so
Yeah. I mean,
hey, if you guys got a good memory, man, hit us
share
up in
it.
the yeah.
Or if your kids,
mm-hmm.
you have kids' stories, share it with us. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, I'm sure all of our kids have said crazy shit. So,
Yeah. My kid came up one day. He was like, "Will you sign my casserole?" And I was like, "What?" And he didn't even have a casserole in his hands. I was like, "Okay, man. I love
Right.
you, dude."
right.
But yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
All right. Well, we love you guys. Thanks
Love
for
you.
watching. Like I said, send us your stories. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah, definitely. See ya.
See ya.